I think like like the modus operandi of you and me and all of this streamy internet-y stuff is feel better about doing your thing.
Yeah.
That's why my motto is do things. Do the thing. Do the thing.
Just do the thing.
Do it. Well, I have a weird animosity towards the word just. I believe
honestly,
yeah.
It is a dead word. It's a word that hardly has any meaning whenever it's used, and it's used reflexively by most people who use it, including myself.
I find it does have meaning, and typically only negative meaning. I think the webcomic Prequel Adventures about a Khajiit in Oblivion who has no skills and is trying to just like acquire baseline like live in this world skills. Has a sequence where she's learning ice magic from a ghost. And something. It's a long story arc, and she's like, I'm just an idiot cat, and the ghost says the phrase, "Nothing is just anything, Catface." And she's like, "What?" He's like, "I said nothing is just anything, and then I called you Catface." I love that phrase, that nothing is just anything. It just implies that it is a simpler matter than you're making it, or it is an easier thing, or a smaller matter, or whatever. It's like there is the thing, and by saying it is just the thing, you're saying it's less than what it is.
When I say it's a dead word, it is for similar reasons, in that, like, if something is just a thing, it didn't need the qualifier to begin with.
Yep.
Yeah.
I find like one of the things that I get frustrated about is when giving instructions, when a person is giving another person instructions, and you say, "Just do this." What?
Just be perfect.
Just get good. It implies, and it's like it's tough because like a lot of people just do it so instinctively that you don't even realize that you saying anything, that you're meaning anything. But what you were saying when you say "just do this" is that it's easy for me and therefore should be easy for you. And I will be straight up honest. I say "just do thing" all the time. And I'm going to be a massive hypocrite. The reason why I will put "just" in front of "do thing" is because I want it to feel easy for you. I want "do thing" to feel easier than it is, because I do know full well that "do thing" is a very difficult step. It's a energy intensive process in the brain to execute operation. The dishes need to be done. The sink is full of dishes. I am going to do the dishes eventually. I need to do the dishes. All those future tense concepts of do the dishes. At some point in your brain, there's that click to I am now doing the dishes. There's that singularity that comes between I really need to do the dishes and I am doing the dishes. That singularity is "do thing." And any human being that has ever done thing knows, how the fuck does that happen? What is the catalyst for that? What is the moment where I do thing? It's fucking weird.
It's one of those things that, like, especially when it comes to things like depression and fun, you mentioned it, like doing the dishes. It is just that easy and also just that hard.
Exactly.
And, like, yeah, exactly. Like, on one hand, there is no magic bullet. You just have to you have to do the thing. It's just in that there's only really the one option. But at the same time, yeah, no, it can come off as dismissive. It can come off as, especially when you haven't, like, sort of realized how to do things even when your brain and body are telling you you can't, even though you can. Like, if you haven't seen past that part of yourself yet, like, it's hard. And when I say things like just do the thing, I try and be aware of it is, I mean, like I said, it's just that hard and just that easy.
I've actually been struggling with do thing. There are a lot of tricks to getting the thing done. And honestly, this right here, you guys hanging out with us, this turn on the camera and turn on the microphone, and what was previously, hey, let's all go to the bar or the cafe and hang out and have some drinks and draw with friends, was one of those little tricks that I've like incorporated into my life that be like, okay, this is the time to work on the arts. This is the time to put the pen on the paper and get some artwork down. And it's one of the reasons why I try not to deviate from, when it is like, drawing time on stream, get the pens out, get the pencils out, work on page. I'm not working on page, work on sketches for page. It's like, it's because this is the long haul. This is the big struggle is getting these stories done. And it's like, we have to do our job, and like we have a ritual and a structure and kind of a pattern that says, okay, I get up, I get dressed, I go to work. Oh, we used to go to work. Now we like wake up, turn our computer on, and go to work. I think like that ritual and that structure is one of the tricks to getting stuff done. Squirrelhort says, I read a story about a little girl who told her mom she wanted to be a surgeon when she grew up, and I'm told something along the lines of, support you, but be aware of it's not easy. You'll need to graduate high school with really good grades, then go to university for a long time and get really good internship at a hospital. And the little kid shrugged and said, that's just 3 things. I fucking love that. That's real good.
Also,
that
thanks for the
excellent.
Thanks for the 3-month resub, Shiny Zubats. I appreciate it. Just do thing. Subscribe to Kyle.
Yeah.
Can you think of a specific time in your life, Jer, where like you first realized like the power of like doing the thing even though you felt like you couldn't do the thing? Because like I can think of times for me, but like you've had experience with this longer than I have.
It's interesting because it's gotten more difficult as I got older and had more adult responsibilities. Now, I actually would say that like, and it kind of what gives me perspective in like how do thing is hard is how do thing has gotten harder. Like not a lot, but a little bit harder as I've grown up and become an adult with a life. I used to do thing with reckless abandon. I was just like nonstop with, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do this thing. And I'd often finish the thing. There's a buttload of weird skills that I've, like a lot of my art skills, my craft skills, and a lot of my programming skills all came from, I'm going to do this now. And it started out very, very easy for me. And responsibilities built up and built up and built up. Life got tougher and tougher as it does as you grow and mature, and your brain changes as you mature. And do thing is a lot tougher for me now. And so like definitely like the structure and the drawing club and a lot of these things that I put in place have helped keep that together, helped keep that going. And so, like, I come from a place where it was easy, it got tough, so I put more and more effort into keeping it going. It's tough to give, like, advice to someone who is and actually, the funniest thing is that, I feel like intimidation is a major discourager for most people. Especially, let's say, for starting anything, but we're talking about art, so we can let's focus on art. There's that like, I'm not good enough. I already suck. I'm an adult, and I don't have time to get good. I don't have time to practice, so I'm not even going to start. And there's that nervousness, that apprehension, and that like self-discouraging thing. And a lot of what got me to being pretty okay at art was never giving a fuck that I sucked. And, like, yeah, it hurt when people said my art sucked, but I didn't quit, hence graphic novel about literally that. And so part of the like spirit of Just Do thing is no, you're allowed to. I think like a joke I told once at Chicago was like, all an adult needs to start drawing is a pen, permission, and a little bit of structure. And that's exactly what, like, when I do that little like drawing crash course, that Abnerdoodle, you remember that, where it's just like, okay, let's all sit down, let's play these very specific drawing games. And I give people the paper, I give the people a pen, I say, we're going to do this. There's the pen and the permission. And then, okay, here's the structure. If you give a pen to an adult and say, draw anything, they will draw nothing. It's too broad. It's too big. You say, draw a stick figure, an adult's going to draw a stick figure. And so that's that little bit of structure. Mm-hmm. And I have, like, even the most reluctant, the most reluctant person that I went through that crash course with was two parents and their teenage son came to Chicago. And the son was interested in drawing comics. And I was like, okay. And they were like, well, yeah, we're just, and we're mainly a bunch of grown-ups. And yeah, like, a few teenagers have noteworthily come through and hung out. Koji, most famously. But yeah, so it's like, okay, all right, I'll give you my drawing crash course. And so I sat the three of them down, mom, dad, and son, and gave him the cartooning crash course. And son knocked it out of the park because son already had, like, some basics and some energy and some excitement. The parents did not want to be doing this. You need Bot Band over on your side.
Fantastic.
Anyway, yeah.
Want to be famous?
I don't. I do slowly.
It's funny because that username almost looks like a real username.
They're getting smart. I don't know if you delete that. I don't know if it'll be removed from my screen. That'd be nice.
I banned it and it's gone from my screen.
Okay, folks on Kyle's side, could you just like chat a lot to just kind of just bump that off of my, yeah, we don't need that around here. Say some cool things.
I completely lost my train of thought.
It's totally fine.
Yeah, I have definitely witnessed the powers of your art workshop, for instance, and yeah, it's good. It's a good thing.
Thank you, Squirrel Horde. Thank you, Shiny Zubats. We got that covered.
Ain't no bots in this here chat.
Kyle, what gets you to do thing?
Mostly, when worse comes to worse, I'm really good at making myself feel like it would be worse if I didn't do thing than it would be if I did do thing, even if thing felt bad. So I keep going back to you mentioned dishes. Yeah, because yesterday I still wasn't feeling great. Like I'm mostly on the mend, but I've been like hovering between high 80s and
you got real sick real fast and needed some sick days, and so that's understandable.
But I looked at the sink and it was full of dishes, and I'd been really sick for a week, and clearly the dishes hadn't gotten done. And so I sighed and realized that I really needed the dishes done, and I was going to be the only one who was going to do them. And once I got started, it was fine.
Exactly why I always use that example.
Yeah.
It's that catalyst, that singularity between I really need to be doing this and I am now getting it done. Once you get through that focal point, that singularity, and you're doing it, you're fine. You're in it. It's no big deal because you're already in it, and this is what you're doing, and you just carry it through. It's that catalyst. It's that moment of the moment where it shifts from I really need to do it to I am now doing it. Mm-hmm. Yep, laundry, any chore that backs up. It's so fascinating. It's like one of the most quintessential human experiences. We all have shit we need to do that we put off to different capacities, but some of us, all of us eventually do it. And some people are better at it, and some people are worse at it, and some people are better at this one but worse at that one, and so on and so on and so on. It's one of the most human things there is. And yet, can you hear me struggling to find the right words to explain it?
Showering your work clothes. That's what I always say, says Squirrel Horde.